Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 20 of Season 9 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the AAA Insurance 400 at Dover International Speedway as we're getting set for 50 laps of racing at this classic concrete mile racetrack. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the race today. In the last row, it's Alexander Rowe, Michael Norman. Top 10, it's Alyssa Drayson on the pole, with Patrick Smith starting next to her. Row 2, Johnny Gardner, Seth Cole. Row 3, James Qualls, Joey Parkhill. Row 4, Chris Dollarton, Kyle Matthews. Row 5, Jordan Forbes, Carson Gum. Let's get the Command 2 fire engines here at Dover for the AAA 400.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers now on the racetrack for the pace lap here at Dover. And of course, Dover is one of the toughest tracks to navigate, especially with all the different grooves you could run. But pit road especially is quite treacherous, as it's a very narrow pit road. So if we end up getting green flag pit stops in this race, we could expect some problems to come up about during the pit stop cycle. That is, if it's clean and green the whole way through, but we're about to find out. Pace car is pulled into pit road. Alyssa Drayson on the pole, searching for win number 2 this season, but other drivers looking for their first or second or even third win of the season, or in Ashlyn Boyd's case, a fourth. Boogity, 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 let's go racing. So it seems like the outside line is where you wanted to run on the first lap, as Patrick Smith maneuvered and bulldozed his way up into the lead, took it from Alyssa Drayson, who has already fallen out of the top 10 now, and Seth Cole trying to get the inside lane to work. But watch the inside lane here off of turn 4. Watch Seth Cole. His car gets a little bit sideways, which takes a little momentum away from the inside lane. So the outside line is where you want to run here at Dover in order to keep your car stable off of corner exit. Now, corner entry, you can see the inside lane definitely gets the big advantage on corner entry, but corner exit, Seth Cole right there, you see him get sideways as we are under caution for the first time. Daniel Bouchard, who had just moved into the top 10 in points, looks like he's been through some hell. Dylan Young with some big-time damage. Caleb Kilburn also damaged. Zachary Fitzwater with a little bit of damage. Looks like this happened off of turn 2, as you see the smoke and skid marks. But yeah, a lot of drivers definitely was hoping for that caution to try and regroup on things. But everybody's coming into pit road, it looks like. But is everybody coming in, or is only some drivers gonna stay out? Oh man, this won't look pretty. They are 3 wide coming into pit road. They're not going to give each other any room to try and get into their stalls. Watching out for all this going down. Looks like they're trying to settle it down. Going to the pit lane cam to take a look and see how things will look when we go back to green flag racing. Who's going to come out first, and so on and so forth. And it looks like Johnny Gardner's going to come out ahead. So it looks like Gardner, Qualls, Drayson, Zorleen, and Garcia and Macklin making contact. But Garcia will come out 5th, it looks like. Parkhill, Qualls, Zorleen, and Garcia. No, Drayson was just trying to get into her stall. Never mind. But regardless, Johnny Gardner is currently your leader. Let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Dover. Well, here's a look at what happened. So Caleb Kilburn's trying to make it 4 wide and then changes his mind, tries to get in line behind Dylan Young. You see Caleb turns Dylan Young sideways down into Alexander Rowe and then down into Daniel Bouchard. And watch this impact for Bouchard. He's going to go spinning and driver side first into the outside wall. Thankfully, the safer barrier is there, but that is still a very, very hard hit. And some cars end up getting turned sideways or around, like Rafael LeDuc, Caleb Kilburn, Keith Miller Jr. gets a piece of it. Ashlyn Boyd, Zachary Fitzwater, and even Dylan Poteet received a big buckle on the front end of his car. So roughly about 7 to 8 cars involved in some way, shape, or form in this whole ordeal. That started with the 99 trying to make it 4 wide, then he tries to get in line behind Dylan Young, didn't work out, and Bouchard took a very, very hard hit into the outside wall, driver side first. But thankfully he was able to drive it back to the garage, so let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Dover. Well, after that first caution, 2 cars are out of the race. Dylan Young and Daniel Bouchard are done for today, so tough break for both of them. But after the pit stops that took place under caution, I wonder if we still would have to see more pit stops later, but we'll find out when we get to that point. Johnny Gardner is your race leader, however. 2nd is Joey Parkhill. 3rd is James Qualls. 4th, Jonathan Zorleen. 5th, Adam Garcia. 6th is Patrick Smith. 7th, Seth Cole. 8th, William Brock. 9th, Matt McIntyre. 10th, Chris Dollerton. 11th is Cole Deaver, 12th is Scott Groverston, 13th Mitchell Collins, 14th Dylan Jacobs, 15th Trey Wright, 16th Kyle Matthews, 17th Alexander Rowe, 18th Michael Norman, 19th Zachary Fitzwater, 20th Melissa Alexander. Rest of the top 30 is Daniel Voiles, Jesse Turner, Jay Jefferson, Jordan Forbes, Ryan Acosta, Jessica Sheldon, Charles Belding, Aaron Macklin, Carson Gum, Quinton Moore, then the rest of the field, Ashlyn Boyd, Alyssa Drayson, Stuart Campbell, Henry Sanford, Caleb Kilburn, Dylan Poteet, Keith Miller Jr., Rafael LeDuc. Green flag is back out as we still got 42 laps to go here at Dover. Plenty of time for stuff to happen. Watching the inside lane, we're going to go to helicopter camera and watch the inside lane off of turn 4. Managed to actually pull it off. James Qualls with the move going by. Whoa, contact! Wait a minute, cars are slowing down. Are they coming to pit road again? About 7 cars came into pit road. That caused a massive logjam. If we're still under green, yeah, we are still under green. I can't believe we are, but 7 of the front runners came into pit road. Make that, yeah, 7. Don't know the deal. Maybe they're trying to go for strategy. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with this, but new leader Jonathan Zorleen now as a result of all that. Very odd turn of events here at Dover. But I think that might have just taken out those 7 drivers from a shot at winning this race. And somebody else I think I saw come into pit road, or that might have been somebody that was there earlier. But yeah, now we're down to 30 cars on the lead lap as a result. And actually the one other driver that came into pit road, it looks like, as I'm looking, was Zachary Fitzwater. So Fitzwater is going to end up potentially losing out on a lot of points, because he came into the race only 20 points behind Scott Groverston. Currently, Groverston is running in 3rd. Was 2nd, now 3rd as Cole Deaver just took the spot away. from the 42, but there's Jonathan Zorlin, who's starting to get a big lead going for himself. Let's see the margin here at the line. It was 9/10 of a second. Now it's 1.1 seconds separating the 00 from second place. And now Groverston trying to take that spot back. And yeah, just like in turn 2, or just like in turn 4, excuse me, when you're on the inside lane, you get sideways a little bit and trying to catch the car. I'm not sure why that's a thing here at Dover, but I guess it's a thing. But yeah, now numerous cars have gone a lap or more down as a result of whatever's been going on with those 8 drivers or so, 7 or 8 drivers that came into pit road, and the only one that's still just 1 lap down is Johnny Gardner, who's up ahead of the leader, Jonathan Zorlin. And Gardner was the leader on the restart, so he's thinking maybe if he stays out in front of the leaders and we stay clean and green and they all pit, he could get back on the lead lap and possibly still have a chance at something good here. But Zorlin's actually running down the 5 car to try and put him 2 laps down. But yeah, you got 3 lap cars in between first and second right now is Cole Deaver, and what a day this would be for Deaver, as he is yet to score a top 10 or even top 5 this season. And he's the only driver yet to score a top 10, so today could be the day he finally makes it happen. And Zorlin has just now put Johnny Gardner 2 laps down now, just then. And Zorlin actually trying to go for his first win of the season and try and get back into the top 20 in the point standings, as he fell to 21st after California back on Monday. But Zorlin, despite some bad luck, he's shown a lot of good promise. He's had some very, very solid performances. He's just not been able to keep that consistency going. That's been his one downfall here in Season 9. Like, coming into this race, 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s, average finish of 19.8, which is pretty solid. But he missed a race, and he's finished bottom 5 quite a few times here in Season 9. And we are under caution yet again. Ooh, Michael Norman turned around, and he's stuck between the racetrack and the apron. So it looks like he might have gotten rear-ended and just gets stuck right there. And he's still stuck. Oh, don't... Okay, thank goodness he teleported to pit road. I thought somebody was going to end up hitting him. But we are under caution yet again here at Dover. Now comes the big question. Is everybody going to come back into pit road this time by or not? Watching the 5, he's on the bottom. Is Zorlin going to the bottom? Is he coming into pit road? Yes, he is. So it looks like the lead lap cars are going to come into pit road to top off on gas and tires, it looks like, while the lap to cars are going to stay out an extra lap. Although you got a few lead lap cars that are going to stay out. Dylan Jacobs going to end up inheriting the lead now as a result. So Dylan Jacobs is your leader currently now. Let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Dover. So this was coming down the back straightaway, and it's going to be contact between Michael Norman and Jay Jefferson going into turn 3. Jefferson they both go for the same place. Jefferson ends up turning the 21 sideways, and Norman up into the outside wall. Pretty good lick, and then he ends up going sideways right there, and the caution's going to come out. And he starts to slide down, and somehow Caleb Kilburn narrowly avoids T-boning the 21. And because of how this track is, it's a self-cleaning track where you go up from the from the top down to the bottom, and right there, the 21 just ends up getting stuck between the apron and the racetrack, right there on that sweet spot. So he had to get teleported back to pit road as a result because he just could not get out of there. But let's take you to the restart here at Dover. Well, no other cars out of the race. We still got 38 on the track, but about 28 or so on the lead lap as some drivers pitted, most drivers stayed out. Dylan Jacobs was one of those that stayed out, so he is the leader. Second is Stuart Campbell, third Alyssa Drayson, fourth Keith Miller Jr., fifth Jordan Forbes. Sixth is Carson Gumbs, seventh Jessica Shelton, eighth Jay Jefferson, ninth Ashlyn Boyd, and then 10th is Jonathan Zorling. So the top 9 stayed out. Everybody else came into pit road. So the rest of the top 20, Cole Deaver, Scott Groverston, William Brock, Ryan Acosta, Mitchell Collins, Charles Belding, Alexander Rowe, Adam Garcia, Henry Sanford, Rafael Leduc. Rest of the lead lap cars, Quentin Moore, Daniel Voiles, Melissa Alexander, Matt McIntyre, Dylan Poteet, Trey Wright, Jesse Turner, and Aaron Macklin. Everybody else is a lap or more down on the inside, so this is going to be an interesting restart, to say the very least. Halfway through, 25 laps done, 25 to go. So the top 9 are hoping that they can keep as much, stay out as long as they can on the one tank of gas they're running, and hopes for a good run. Whoa! Gardner about turned Jacobs around right there as Jacobs was trying to get cleared of the 5. But the 5 did not seem to be having any of it. But the 41 of Jacobs clears the lap traffic now. And is going to try and start pulling away. But Stuart Campbell running that outside line, which is getting a lot of speed. And wow, he really closed the gap on the 41 right there going into turn 3. Alyssa Drayson running the outside lane. This is going to help her chances out a little bit to try and reel in the top 2. But how about this? With Jacobs and Campbell, they've been battling back and forth to try and stay in the top 30 in the point standings, with Campbell coming in 55 points behind Jacobs, and Jacobs is 29th in points, whereas Forbes is that 30th place in the point standings. And Stewart actually managed to use the inside line to lead a lap. Maybe the inside lane's starting to kick in a little bit. Let's go to helicopter cam and watch and see. But we're going to watch Alyssa Drayson here off of turn 4 and see if she gets sideways off of the corner. No, she doesn't. So it looks like the inside lane's starting to pick up finally, as Stuart Campbell is the leader now here at Dover, with Alyssa Drayson, who started on the pole but didn't get to lead a lap because she just got outpowered on the outside lane by Patrick Smith on the first lap. But now she's up here trying to contend for the victory. Wait a minute, Jonathan Zorling came back into pit road again. And now he's caught a lap down. That is a tough break for the 00. I thought that if those top 9 on the restart were going to stay out and had to come to pit road eventually, I thought Zorling would have been the money man to win the race, but not anymore. Strategies galore around here at Dover. Stuart Campbell leads, but wow, the crossover move for Alyssa Drayson, holding off Dylan Jacobs on the outside, powers her way to the inside. To the lead goes the 87 of Drayson. So it looks like if these 3 have enough gas to make it to the end, these are going to be the 3 to battle it out for the win. Drayson, Campbell, and Jacobs. Campbell thought about trying to do the same thing that Drayson did just a lap ago and do a crossover, but to no avail. Meanwhile, back here in 4th, Keith Miller Jr., who's been on a roll, 2 victories, and he's moved up to 5th in points, despite missing 2 races this season. But then again, it's fairly close from 5th on down to about 16th in the point standings. It's only 30 points separating. But remember, next season, the points structure is going to be a lot different, where the top 2 will be separated by 10 points, every other position 5 points, with bonus points for qualifying on the pole, leading the most laps, leading a lap. You get the drill. But anyways, Alyssa Drayson hungry for win number 2 here in Season 9, and she's looking good right now, but Stuart Campbell's got a strong race car himself, and Campbell is trying to be the man on a mission to win his first race in a long, long time, and also to try and get closer to get back into the top 30 in the standings. Although Jordan Forbes, who is 30th in points, last time scored in the 6th position, so he's looking really good to keep a steady margin between himself and Campbell going into the race on Friday. But now Rafael Leduc goes by to take the position away from Forbes. And how about Scott Groverston, who's looking for his 11th top 10 finish of the season? Right now looking very good in that spot, running in the 8th position. And he's looking to extend his points lead as Zachary Fitzwater. Yeah, he's up ahead, but he's about a lap or 2 down. 2 laps down, in fact. And Dylan Jacobs actually losing ground to the top 2 as he's having to contend with Chris Dollerton, who's gotten some damage on the driver's side of that car. He's trying to get back on, or get a lap back, even though I don't see the point. But the top 2 are almost connected together like magnets, with the 87 leading, the 62 in second. Let's go to helicopter view and watch this battle from up above. But yeah, it's like Campbell and Drayson are relatively even on the racetrack, as meanwhile Jacobs continuing to lose ground little by little to the top 2 as he's having to deal with the 09 of Kyle Matthews, but Matthews getting sideways, ain't going to be able to pass the 41. The 41's still losing time as he's now almost a full second behind the 87, and the 87 actually pulled away by a little over a tenth that previous lap over the 62 of Campbell. But now it's going to be 9 laps to go here at Dover, and Alyssa Drayson trying to hold off the 62 of Stuart Campbell. Campbell, I believe, finished second in a race before. I can't remember, and he came close to winning, and right now he's looking for that first win, and I can't remember the last time he won a race. It might have been during his previous season that he participated in the series, and I can't remember if it was season 4 or 5. It might have been season 4. But the laps continue to wind down with less than 8 laps to go. Drayson trying to maintain herself on the track and not have to come to pit road, trying to stay out on one pit stop and get the W here in the AAA 400. Meanwhile, Rafael Leduc, man, he's been climbing his way up through the field as he's now up to 4th. And Leduc's trying to close the gap a little bit on that points lead that Scott Groverston has, but he's only 3 cars ahead of Groverston, and he just about got into Dylan Jacobs right there. But yeah, this is the battle on for the 3rd position between Rafael Leduc and Dylan Jacobs, and Leduc is going to clear to 41. Does he have enough time to catch up to the top 2, though? That's the question. Does he have enough to run down Stuart Campbell and Alyssa Drayson with 5 laps to go? It's going to be a daunting task, but if he can do it, he can do it. He's 1.45 seconds behind with less than 5 to go. It's still a long, long distance. And Drayson actually coming into pit road. That is a heartbreak. And where have we seen that before? Now, does Stuart Campbell have enough gas to make it to the end? I know Leduc does, I believe. Or did Leduc stay out? I think Leduc might have... I think he stayed out. No, he restarted 20th, so he's the freshest on gas. And now Campbell's coming into pit road. handing the lead to Raphael Leduc. Leduc trying to go for win number 2 this season. But does he have enough fuel? I think he does, but you don't want to be too sure of that because I don't remember if he pitted under the last caution or if he stayed out. I don't remember, but I think he pitted if I remember correctly. But Leduc staying out with 2 laps to go, and then second being Deaver, then Groverston, then Miller, then Rowe, the top 5 currently. Oh, Jay Jefferson, what are you doing? That was dangerously close. I don't know what was that all about. Keith Miller Jr. coming into pit road. The white flag is out here at Dover. 1.36 second lead with Raphael Leduc over Cole Deaver. But does Leduc have enough gas? It looks like he does, as we're getting ready to come off of turn 4 for the final time. Win number 2 this season, checkered flag. Raphael Leduc wins the AAA Insurance 400 at Dover. By fuel mileage, too. This race came down to fuel mileage at the end, and things got really scary off of turn 2 with some cars coming off pit road onto the racetrack. But we got away with no problem. Raphael Leduc, win number 2, not only for the season, but win number 2 for Wings of Glory Motorsports this season. Great job by that 16 team. But let's look at the rest of the results. Easy for me to say. Cole Deaver finally gets his first top 5/10 of the season with a great performance in second. Scott Groverston, who started around the back of the field, manages to come through with a top 3 finish in third. Great job for the 42 team. Henry Sanford, with his second top 5 finish, finishing strong in the 4th position. And how about Matt McIntyre? He's starting to get on a roll as he gets another top 5 in 5th. This will no doubt put him into the top 10 at points. Alexander Rowe, again with the 66 car finishing 6th. What is happening here? But regardless, Alexander Rowe gets his best finish in a little while, finishing with a strong 6th place finish. Quentin Moore, following up his win back at California, with a great top 10 finish in 7th. William Brock rounding out the 8th position. Mitchell Collins, much needed good run in 9th, and then Ryan Acosta with a much needed good run in 10th. Then there's the rest of your top 20. Your top 30, and the bottom 5 for this week were Johnny Gardner, Patrick Smith, Michael Norman as his bad luck continues, Dylan Young, and Daniel Bouchard. But that does it for our coverage here today at Dover. We'll see you Friday for the next race, but here's the victory burnout for Leduc and the point standings, and this is Levi McIntyre signing off.